Hey guys, my name is Nate and this is my brother Steven. Together we are Wingman Merch.
Thanks for checking out our video. We put these up about a month after we shoot them. If you'd like to catch any of these videos live, check out our Facebook page. The link is in the description.
Hey guys, welcome to this week's Merch Monday call. It's been a long week and it's only Monday. Hopefully you guys are all surviving this Q4. We are getting back to making a lot of plans, and so our heads are constantly spinning, but we're super excited. We're kind of out of the presentation season. Presentation season. I think I just had a stroke. So thankfully I don't have to talk anymore. Just have to do Merch Mondays. Get through these. We'll be good. But yeah, being able to plan out the next couple of weeks, months, trying to get a jump start on next year is very exciting. Which means that there'll be actually more content here, which we're excited about. We've kind of kept up with the Merch Mondays and what's going on in the merch world, but attacking it a little bit more and teaching you guys some more information, having more classes, more things going on inside of this group and with this community that we've built over the last couple of months here. We're really excited about that.
Yeah, and building an actual structure. That's what we're really trying to work on right now. We really like the Merch Mondays. We really liked doing the Wednesday videos and the teaching, and we're just trying to find a way to get back to that. Like Mateo said, coming out of an extremely busy season, which was kind of a little left field for us with all the partnerships that we had. Not all. Some of the partnerships that we had required us to do presentations. So we went to St. Louis, was kind of like the last live presentation, and then it switched gears to all being online presentations. So it was like one right after another, and being able to mentally process information that we have that we want to give people, put them onto slides is really a task for us. That's not really how either of us function. We really like doing a lot more over the shoulder, showing people exactly how we're doing things, explaining, asking questions, answering questions. That's how we like to teach. But it was because of the audience we were preparing a lot of things for. That's just how they operate. So we were forced to kind of do it their way. Now, after doing, like Mateo said, a lot of them, we have
You don't want to try and say presentation season?
No. Because I'm not done. I still have more presentations to do. We have another one tomorrow night, and I have one Thursday.
The season is just coming to a close. Not doing multiple every week now.
This is true. But learning how we operate. We like doing a lot of visual aids, so we don't have a problem doing the first part of what we're going to talk about on slides, essentially, but then the later half of whatever we're going to be presenting on, we need to do it. We don't need to, but we like to do that stuff live and get a lot more interactive with the people. That's why we love those smaller groups. That's why what we're doing moving forward is going to be mostly in smaller groups. We have ideas for classes, and we're going to teach those just so we're not leaving anybody behind, because that was another complaint we were having from last week, was saying, oh, if you're doing it in small groups, we want to feel like we're missing out. So we're trying to balance all those things. How can we make it affordable for everybody to feel like they're still being able to keep up with everything that we have going on, and still cater to people that want to learn things in those smaller kind of groups? I have a lot of ideas. We have a few plans that we're going to test. But the end of this month, I finally talked Nathaniel into doing a art class. That's kind of why we themed this whole month around art. He's been asking a lot of questions. I was going to jump into the giveaway. I'll do that later. I'll let that slide for right now. But all that to say that we are coming out of a busy season for presentations. We're moving back into focusing more on this group, more on our business. We are very excited for all the things that we've learned, especially in the last 2 weeks, and all the opportunities that we've had partners, all the partnerships that we have with people to be able to start testing a lot of things. We have a good procedure. We have a nice process. Now we want to start adding and building. Our process was very quantity and then building the quality. And now we have like really cool ideas to up the quality on a lot of stuff very rapidly and still keep the high quantity that we're pushing out as far as our print-on-demand business.
Yeah, consistency is a really big thing for us on everything we do. We've been pretty consistent even with these Merch Mondays. They haven't always been fantastic. There's been shows where the power just went out, the internet cut off.
Tornado warnings.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff going on. But that's the same thing we try to do in business, is just be consistent. If we can be consistently hitting our daily uploads, or at least uploading something to merch or whatever we're doing, just being consistent over a year, you start to see that growth, and that's really big for us. So sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that was
that
perfect.
Idea.
I was going to jump deeper into the call, but I think we have other things to talk about before we go into.
Yeah, and just that kind of the strategy of how we're making our presentations, that also came out of the Pre-Flight 2.0 group, which you were in there. You kind of saw those morph into that same layout where at the beginning we like to talk about the idea, and at the end of the call we like to actually go in and show you exactly what we're talking about. We just found that works for us. It's a little bit less work on the slides, and we get to get more of our knowledge out there. When you're trying to make something so systematically that you're going through step by step, you miss some of those golden nuggets that we just like, oh yeah, and then this is a really important part that we might have just forgotten to
or the
say.
Opportunities for people feeling like they can ask questions. It
Right.
seems like even if you ask people to interject while you're doing slides, people feel like it's so tight that they can't sometimes. It seems like as soon as we do over the shoulder, that's when a lot of the questions start flowing. And that's where we feel most confident, is in that back and forth, more communication style teaching.
That's why I'm asking questions every day this week, and for the next, I'm going to try and do it for the rest of this month. I just love having that conversation. Like I say all the time, I love talking about merch.
Yeah, face-to-face. We really thrive in the face-to-face, and we're trying to bring more of that face-to-face feel to this
online community.
Yeah, this is kind of weird when we're speaking to a camera. Like, asking questions and answering the questions is where we thrive, I feel like. Just because of all the knowledge that we've had and built up throughout all of our experiences. People were saying before we were in another group, like, oh, you guys are the gurus, you're the experts. Like, I guess, but really what we are just battle tested. We've been in a lot of wars. We have a lot of cuts and bruises, and we keep coming through and have that grit and determination to keep going. And through all of that knowledge, being able to, okay, this is going to save you a lot of time. Just don't focus on that so much. Think about this before you go and spend all your time here. You might want to just consider this option or pre-prepared for when stuff like this happens. That's what we feel like the interaction and answering questions really allows people to go, oh, yes, I would have never thought about that.
Yes.
In our 2.0, we had that AMA, and we had some people showing us actually their shirts and being able to like answer their questions directly to them. And they go, oh, I would have never thought like that. I didn't think even your doubling down question or what's selling, people didn't quite understand how to do that. And so not understanding that and me just assuming, oh, people know how to do this, I was like, oh, now we need to teach on what that actually means and how to double down. And some tools that we use, we should be bringing to this community.
Yeah, Steven's really weird and likes that, we call it running into walls, just constantly. Just full steam ahead. And whenever he sees a new opportunity, whenever he's trying to figure something out, he just goes full force after it. And then, we kind of take a step back. You're like, okay, what do we learn?
You take a step back. I just keep on getting up like, okay, run into the next wall.
Yeah, I like to take a step back and be like, okay, what did we learn from Steven, spending that much money on ad spend, or, trying to do art before keywords and all these things. Why is this such a struggle? Why do we not like doing this right now? And then when something clicks, we're like, oh yeah, that's much easier. We should have done that from the very beginning. So let's share that with other people so they don't have to run into all the walls that Steven has.
Problems.
So, yeah. So if you guys, that's why
he
we're
is the younger brother. He is definitely 10 years younger. He watches me and just goes, that looks like it hurt. I'm not going to do that. You got on the head. I got to take those licks and just keep it moving.
Yeah, we've definitely learned from that. And we think, that helps us with our teaching style. So if you guys have questions, that's why we're always asking questions. We want to know, what are people stuck on? What are they concerned about? So Steven can go run into those walls, figure out the problems that we'll have with that. And then, I'll try and take some information from that and deliver it to you guys.
Process it a little bit better.
And we've talked about this a few times, but learning to, teach in kind of three different ways: the visual aspect, an actual long form video, and then also a written out description of what we're doing. I think that hits a lot of different spots. Melinda was saying that she really likes the visual aids. I actually like putting those together so it works out for both of us. But just not taking the time, again, just running full steam ahead. We're just going to make, an hour-long Merch Monday every Monday, and then realizing, okay, maybe all we need is 10-15 minutes to really get our ideas across, showing people visually what we're talking about, because they're sometimes they're big ideas, or when we say split testing, they're all over the place. And then also those written posts, which we've actually had some people help us out with, which is fantastic. Going back and taking notes on everything that we're saying and sharing that with the 2.0 group and other groups that we've been a part of. So it's all coming together. We're excited about this group still.
We should almost every week have some to pop up behind us. I really
what.
liked how you had that the witch's shirt and that cat shirt.
Steven likes to feel like he's on
Get a little.
What is it?
We got
Vanna
a green
White?
screen for a reason. Let's use that bad boy. I'm getting tired of this background already. You made that holiday one, and I was like, that's perfect. Oh, that's what I asked you to do, was to make the veterans. Yeah.
Too many ideas.
Yeah.
The list is too long.
Much going on. I did ask you to do we just want to say thank you to all the veterans and any active duty military. I mean, it's kind of obvious with the military theme that we have going on. We really love this country, and in order to have our freedom, we fully understand the sacrifices that people have to give up in their own lives to give us the ability to do stuff like this and act funny and silly and put stuff on the green screen. I wish you had something and then I could click to it, then you could just pull it up. Like, could you get me a flag right now?
Well, Linda's got a good idea. Steven's getting warmer on the art, so maybe you should start doing some of that stuff.
That's what Nathaniel said. He said, remember when you said you were going to put a piece of art together? I was like, oh yeah, I did say that. I don't want to do it, but I'll have to figure out that program and do something. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll make the background for next week.
It's going to be rough. Get it popping with MS Paint.
Or I'll just make the thing that I want to pop up real quick. MS Paint. Does that even have it? Do we even have that anymore?
I don't know. You'd have to check your computer.
That used to be my jam, boy.
But yeah, we're getting better at teaching, way more comfortable with this whole situation of having a green screen behind us, a camera and a mic and all this whole setup. So we're excited about this group. We're excited to start sharing and being a little bit more active in here. As much feedback as we can get, that really fuels us and energizes us. Like, oh, people are asking this certain type of question. Now we can go out and figure that out for them, and either teach a class on it or just give a long form video or whatever we feel comfortable with, over the shoulder, whatever we're doing. I think you guys have seen us test a lot of those ideas, but just not have the system, I guess, behind like making all of that stuff run together, flow together well. So that's what we're working on next year. That's why we have, Steven's got like 12,000 papers over here with notes on it, just talking about all the ideas that we have for next year.
It's on, you can't even see them.
So we're excited about it. We have a few things going on just this month that we should talk about. So first of all, the art class that we've mentioned a few times, to give actual specifics about that, it's going to be on the 30th, which is the last Friday of this month, at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So hopefully that works for everybody. It's going to be $10. We want to keep that price really low. I'm super excited about this information that we're going to be sharing. I've shared it with just a small group of people, and they've all taken to it and have been using this tool that I'm going to talk about. So we're keeping the price low, and we're keeping the information kind of directed at everybody. You don't have to be...
The tool that we're talking about is a free tool.
Right. So you don't have to be an art expert. I'm not going to ask you to go out and get Photoshop to use this stuff that I'm talking about. It's a free tool. It's going to be, a quick way to make competitive designs so that you can actually get that stuff rolling on merch yourself. You don't have to go out and hire, a VA team and a keyword team like we have. You can just do this all on your own, and it doesn't have to be crazy expensive. So that's kind of my focus for this first art class that we'll be teaching on the 30th at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, that's going to be $10. I guess you can talk about the giveaway now. We can kind of lead into that.
Yeah, we always.
I guess before I let Steven talk about that, I'm learning from you on that one.
I like that. The old hand it off and pull it back. I like that.
If you guys haven't looked at the questions in this group, I will ask that you guys at least go back and look at those, or continue to see the ones that I post daily. And I want you guys to start answering those questions, because Steven's going to talk about
you might as well just say the whole thing. Why we want people answering those questions is Nathaniel's done giveaways a few times now where he's taking the people that are answering those questions, putting them in some sheet.
Google sheet, and then doing
and then
it
randomly,
a horrible way, but it works.
Number generator. We really like that style. We want to reward people that are taking action, and this is a way that we found works. We have other ideas that we're going to probably try next month, but for right now, we want to see people who are answering those questions. You're going to get entered into the giveaway, and the giveaway is we're going to pick 2 people to get the class that we're doing at the end of the month for free. We were going to do a heavy discount, but then we said, why not just do it for free? Yeah. I was like 50% off, 90% off. It's something that's like extreme, and then it was like, let's just do it for free. So let's pick 2 people and do it for free. So 2 people at random for anybody on any post that Nathaniel made. He's pretty much doing 1 a day. So if you've answered 1, you get an enter into. Are you picking multiple people? Like if they answer 2 questions, they get 2 entries? You
Uh,
haven't thought that far?
I haven't
Okay, you
thought
get
that
1
far.
entry. You get one, if you've answered any question, you get entered once, and we'll pick 2 people, and then those 2 people will get the class at the end of the month for free. If you can't be there, that's fine. It's going to be recorded. Anybody that pays for the class or signs up, even if you can't be there live, we'll get you that recording.
Yeah, so we're excited about that. This is, like Steven said, he had to push me to kind of do this. But after teaching our Pre-Flight 2.0 course, I realized that I enjoy talking about art a bunch. I think that night it was supposed to be an hour, and I went for like almost 2 hours.
And you were sick. You were faking
Yeah.
sick. You were doing the Hulk Hogan. You got threw the jacket on you. I'm back, brother.
It was a rough week, but I was super excited about it. I was like, oh man, I really do love teaching on art. I have a lot to say. That's basically like the last 12 years of my life has been somewhat focused around designing and graphics and things like that. So I'm super excited to show that it's maybe not as scary as you might think. It is doable. There are programs out there that you can do this for free and make things, you know, even so easy that Steven can do them. He might not because he still is my older brother, so he tells me what to do.
Yeah, I'm going to try. I will try.
But
I will try to have something up behind us. I don't know about next week, but it'll be. Just
With
'cause
my
the amount
help,
of stuff
it's
that I
okay.
have to get.
You can wait till after the art class where I teach on the tool and then do it. So yeah, we're excited about that class. We want to do more things like that, maybe a lower price point for more people to get in there, and just, you know, more interaction, showing you guys exactly what's going on. We just told you kind of the way that we're going to lay that class out. We're going to teach you up front and then show you exactly what we're talking about on the back end. So we're really excited about that.
Yeah, explain
Just
the tool,
more-
explain everything, and then actually show you how to use the tool by Nathaniel using it over the shoulder, and then having a lot more interaction so that you guys can ask questions, or wherever you're stuck on art, that will be the perfect class for you. And I still want to find ways to do giveaways every month in this group. We really love rewarding action takers. We feel like, especially in being in other groups and stuff like that, when we take action, it feels like we are rewarded just for taking action, but me and Nathaniel really want to even reward you more. So if you're taking action, we want to personally reward you so that you continue to take action, because this business, like, you cannot get anywhere if you're an online entrepreneur without actually taking action and putting that stuff into use. Like, that's the only way you're going to be able to grow your assets. That's the only way you're going to be able to continue to build a business, by constant action. And that's what we are trying to always push people towards, is taking action. We feel like I really want to be able to reward people every month with something. So this week, because we're doing a class and that's kind of the only thing we have going on, do we have anything else?
We have a few other things, but we're just talking about the class right now.
I'm trying to think. I don't have anything planned out. Just the class, but we want to every month. We want to do a class. The giveaways might not be for the class all the time, but I want to find ways to give giveaways to people that's in this group for stuff that we have. Nathaniel has a lot of plans on what he wants to do with this group, and I have a lot of interesting ideas that I want to add. But I ultimately want this to be Nathaniel's baby, because he loves the print on demand, and I'm gonna help you. I'll still be here, but I want to start moving into brand building more than I want to do print on demand.
Yeah, so the giveaways, I think they do 2 things. One, to steal Jason Miles' saying that he used today, and we've heard him say this.
If it's free, it's for me.
Yeah, multiple times. If it's free, it's for me. We love that saying. It's very true. That's kind of how we started our online journey, is just looking for a bunch of free resources. So we like to give those free resources out anytime we can. I'll slow down a little bit. But also doing those giveaways, like I just said earlier, like, this is a business about, or anything that we're doing online is about being consistent. Whether you're posting on Instagram trying to build a following, or, you know, uploading shirts, or whatever you're doing online, you kind of just have to learn to be consistent. So having those little rewards along the way, you know, for consistently being a part of this community, building the group the way we want to reward you guys for that. So that's another 2 reasons we like doing giveaways. If you couldn't tell, that we're just excited to be, part of this community, have the community the way that we wanted to grow it organically, just word of mouth. And, you know, everyone's kind of positive in here. There's not a lot of negativity that we see in some of the other groups. So really love this group and this community, and want to let you guys know by doing the giveaways and things like that. So that's, I think, most of our show notes. The shout out this week I wanted to give to Jen Barney. She was thinking outside the box with merch, which I love seeing, an idea that I hadn't thought of. a way to use merch in an interesting way. If you guys have not read her post, I'll actually post the link to it in this chat right now. But it was a really interesting way that she was trying to use merch. Hopefully you guys go over there and show her some love and some feedback on that. I think that was really cool. And then the last thing that we have going on is Wednesday. We're going to try and start doing videos on Wednesday again. I know we kind of lacked off a little bit on that the last month or so that we've been doing a ton of presentations. But me and Steven, I'm like forcing him to go out to lunch so we can just sit down and talk about ideas. And then after those business lunches on Wednesday, we're going to be doing a live call in here. They might only be like 15, 20, 30 minutes. But we just want to share some of our ideas, what's going through our head, what's coming up in this group, like a little bit more fleshed out now that we have like time to sit down and talk about all the stuff that we want to do and take action inside of this group. So, and did I miss anything? Did I leave anything out?
I don't think so. Do we have any questions? I see people.
Everybody. Susan is saying that she's looking forward to Steven's art, so be careful.
Hey.
We got some people who are going to keep you honest in here. Thank you, Allison, Susan, Jim, Melissa, and miss anyone, Sakina, Jacob Bates. Thank you guys for joining us live. We love doing these. I don't think things are going to change up too much, but we've got exciting things coming up. Again, just putting more energy back into teaching now that we've kind of weathered the presentations, have at least a system for moving forward with them now. We feel much better. But yeah, cool and exciting partnerships coming out of those presentations. So definitely worthwhile. We're not complaining about having to do it. It just was more work than we realized. So we're glad to be focusing back on print on demand.
Yeah, and the
teaching.
time frame really it was like, oh, next year we can do this, next year we can do this, and all those people were like, you know what? We should do it right now. And we're like, no! Like all the stuff that we were planning out to do in 2 months, we all had to do like in a week and a half.
Yeah.
Back to back to back. So
we got it done.
Learned your lesson. Done. I learned my lesson, really, because I signed us up for a lot of things. I was like, yeah, we can do that. We can do this. Oh, tomorrow? Okay.
Sure. So hopefully you guys are killing it in Q4. We're excited to hear about how everyone's Q4 went after all this crazy season is done. We look forward to do more teaching and stuff in January and next year. More information coming from us. But we got this class coming up. Again, that's on the 30th, which is the last Friday of November at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's $10 to get in there, but I definitely think it's worth your time. If you are curious at all about art, you don't have to be an art nut like me. If you just love doing keywords, you're like, man, I just wish I knew a simple free tool of how to get this done and be competitive with the designs I was doing, then I've got you covered. I look forward to teaching you guys on that. Anything else?
That's it. That's all.
Thank you guys so much again for joining us. We look forward to what we have in the future. All right, guys.